Hey Pokemaniac. So in this video I will be giving you my opinion on what typing DC superheroes and villains would be in Pokemon. So let's jump into it. So the first superhero I'm gonna be talking about is Jay Garrick, also known as the Flash, like the first Flash ever. Yeah. So the Flash will probably be exactly the same for every iteration of the Flash. So my opinion on the Flash if he was in Pokemon, his typing would be electric because it's pretty much the best option and the only option of what it would be in Pokemon. So I decided this for me is going to be an electric type Pokemon, and for his one of his super villain counterpart enemies I chose was the Shade, also known as Richard Swift. So the Shade pretty much says it also what the type it's going to be, and I took it upon myself to say for me he's going to be a dark type Pokemon because he plays in the shadows. Everything about him is dark pretty much, like black outfit and everything. So that's it for him. Again, next, the second hero I decided to pick was Batgirl, aka Barbara Gordon. Some of them might be repetitive. I try not to, but some might be more present than other typing, but that's hard to do in the superhero verse. Like they all have superpowers, or they all have powers similar sometimes, and they all do this pretty much the same thing. So back to Batgirl. For her, I read that she's Batgirl. Since she's in the Bat family and they have to fight the bad guys either with their weapon, like the Batarang and every other object like that, I decided that one of her typing would be fighting. Don't know, I can't explain why, because I feel like it's a bit obvious that fighting is one of the typing for her. And the other, I chose a psychic, and I had my thing open. The reason why I thought of psychic is because one of her talents, beside fight and being a combatant, is that she's a trained computer scientist and security hacker, and she's an expert detective and a genius level intellect. She has indomitable will and eidetic memory, which is that she's a photographic memory. So that's why I chose the psychic type for her. And now for her, and one of her enemy, I could have chose anybody, but I felt that this one is better, I guess. So I chose Harley Quinn, and for her I thought also it was a bit easy for the type, but maybe another type could be added, but I wasn't sure about it. So what I decided was that she was going to be a poison type Pokemon because she's with the Joker. So that's a good part about it. Good part. I I think that's one of the best options for. And she could also have the fighting secondary type, but since all of the heroes and villains they fight physically sometime, it's a bit redundant, I think, to have fighting to everybody. Like Jay Garrick can also fight, give like punch the enemy to knock him out because he's fast, but not because he's fast that he can stop anybody. So I feel that poison is the main type, and I don't think she should get a secondary type. But if she was to, I would have given her maybe psychic also, because she's intelligent. She knows what she does, and why would she have a second type? That's something I. Well, yeah, she's gonna have poison type. She's gonna be a poison type, and she's gonna be the first of my list to have a regional form, as she was before becoming Harley Quinn. She was Arlene Quinzel, a psychiatrist, so pretty much easy to figure out what type she would be. I gave her the psychic type because she's a psychiatrist. She was a psychiatrist, so that's why she's gonna be a psychic type. Then now, gonna be the following is Firestorm, which in some iteration there's Ronnie Raymond with Martin Stein, Jefferson with Martin Stein in CW, and I think also in the comic, but not 100% sure. I'm not going to say 100% because I'm not sure. So for him, it's also a bit easy, but could be tricky, but not really. I gave him the fire type, like the main type, because the Firestorm, like they say, beside fire in his name, is a Firestorm Matrix, which is based with a nuclear power, I guess. I think it is original appearance. The comic was named the Nuclear Man, so it's like nuclear energy, and he blasts fire with his hand. So he controls the fire that is inside his body and within his body, and like if he has fire in his hand, he can like throw fire, magma, fire maybe mostly. And I gave him flying also because he can fly with his, not like Superman, for example. He can not just fly out there like that. He needs like it's fire to like the nuclear power he has to like make him fly. Like he put like a bit like Iron Man with his energy on his palm, like on his feet. He puts them towards the bottom and throw the energy out so he can fly. And now for his one of his enemy is Killer Frost. There's a few iteration of Killer Frost, but they're all the same. They're all related to ice, so she's going to be an ice type. Like she can throw ice in shard, in powder snow. She's an ice type. I don't need to spend 15 minutes explaining why, because it's a bit easy. Now my following would be Black Lightning. I figure it's a bit the same like the Flash, because he control electricity, so it's going to be an electric type. Also won't spend 15 minutes talking about it. Why? Control electricity, so electric. And for his enemy, I chose Tobias Whale. I gave him the first type is gonna be Psychic. Even though I put in at main type, I'm not 100% sure it's gonna be Psychic, but I chose Psychic. And why? Because he's a criminal mastermind, so you gotta be intelligent, you gotta be smart, even though they're the same. I also, to be a criminal mastermind, you gotta be able to think twice, think better than everybody to stay on top. And for that, I chose Psychic as his main time, and his secondary type. Like most heroes, I put Fighting, even though I said it's gonna be redundant because he's an advanced hand-to-hand combatant. So I couldn't just say Psychic, but sometimes I need to put Fighting in some, because it's not gonna be good if I only put one type that is just for a part of their thing, because they have to fight, so it's fighting sometimes that's the little thing I hate about trying to put a typing or typings onto superheroes and villains, is because they all fight physically at some point. So I'm gonna leave Fighting for him. It's the best thing I could say. Now the following is going to be Green Arrow, Oliver Queen Green Arrow. For him, also a bit the same. He's gonna be main type, it's Fighting, because he's a highly skilled martial artist and a hand-to-hand combatant. If we pick Oliver Queen from the CW Arrow show, TV show, like he was on the island, he was trained by Deadstroke, he came back, and a few years later, which is like 2 seasons later, he trained under Raj Al Ghul in combat. So that's why we would put him in Fighting, because he was physically trained to fight and to be able to stay alive and not die physically fighting someone. And I also chose for his secondary type Psychic. Why Psychic? Because one of his ability that I found that he has peak human physical and mental conditioning. Like, maybe not every iteration of Oliver Queen has that, not sure, but I'll still give the Arrow TV show way. Like, he's the leader of the Arrowverse Justice League. Like, he was the one that has not all the answers, but he was always thinking the way to be able to understand, not understand, but to be able to be to find a way that no one could. Like he was the Batman pretty much of the, like it was pretty much on the same level as Batman. Like he could get tortured, he wouldn't say, like he wouldn't reveal anything. He passed the detector test, lie detector test. Like his mental was really good. Like he would be able, he fooled Raj Al Ghul into thinking that he was on his side. Raj thought Oliver was on his side, so that's why I put psychic, because he couldn't be broke mentally to, like, he tricked him. So I'm gonna say fighting psychic as his typings. Now for his enemy, I named him just a bit earlier. So it's gonna be Deadstroke, aka Slade Wilson. Slade Wilson, pretty much fighting type Pokemon, because like I said on the Arrow show, he was he an army guy? Like or special force, I don't remember. Like he would fight. He literally trained Oliver from being a rich kid that didn't know how to fight or survive. He trained him to know how to defend himself. Or even in the Titan TV show, like he's a skilled marksmanship, I guess. Like he knows how to kill, and he's a dangerous man. Like he also, because he got the serum in his body to make him stronger. So I will say he's a fighting type. That's my opinion. And now to the next. Okay, now this one, I have to say I'm not 100% sure, but it will have to go this way, I feel like. So I chose now Wonder Woman. And why I chose this type, pretty much the only thing that I could think of, and it's fighting also. Why? Well, she fights, and why? Like she fights with sword, her lasso. She punches in pretty much every appearance she has. Sword on occasion. I said fighting. That's pretty much the only thing I could thought of that would make sense for her. So fighting it is, I guess. Not I guess, but what I think she should be is a fighting. Even though in some iteration she flies, which she has not always been able to. Like I could give her the secondary type flying, but I could give her the flying type ability, flying type as a secondary type, because she can jump really high, she can run fast or move fast. I'm gonna give her fighting, flying. Now for rival enemy, I chose Cheetah. Cheetah is the human cheetah, so she's agile. She technically is an animal. I don't know why at first, but I decided she would be grass as a main type. No, sorry. Yeah, grass as a main type, but not be physically grass, just that the cheetah, I think, lives mostly where there's a grass. I think, or okay, maybe not. Because I thought that grass was the closest to animal at one point, but yeah, I think I might forget the grass part. So I'll put her at fighting. Also, because she fights, she's agile. She can jump. She can give punch, kick, and yeah, I'm gonna go also with fighting. And now for the following 1, 2. Okay, now I will go with the Man of Steel, Superman, aka Clark Kent. So Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman has multiple powers, as we all know. Heat vision, ice breath, like his breath ice. He can fly. He has super strength. His only weakness is kryptonite, but that doesn't help a lot. So I figured that he would be a flying as his main type, because he can fly. That's pretty much one of the things he's most remembered of, like in the DC universe. Like they see him fly, or it's like, oh, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Superman. And for the second type, I gave him fighting, because he mostly fly at the opponent to punch. Sometime the heat vision or the breath, the ice breath. So fighting is this second thing he does mostly. Like punches Doomsday, Zod, Batman, or any villain. That's pretty much what he does best. Or more, I mean. So flying fighting is what I will say his type would be in Pokemon. And now for his rival, I chose his most, I think it's his most famous enemy, or one of his most, that I would say personally maybe his most famous, is Lex Luthor. So Lex is will not be easy nor hard, because Lex is a very intelligent man. He's shady, like he would work with you but also steal from you, how to say it, like he will make you think he's on your side, but you will work like the other way. So literally be not a backstabber, but well, he's also a backstabber, but I will say that mostly he will work with you, but he will use you for his greater good. For any iteration of Lex Luthor, John Cryer working with Lena, his sister, only to prove her that she's wrong, that he's the only person to be right about everything. Or Michael Rosenbaum, Lex Luthor in Smallville, where you just pretty much have a lot of like he will work to find anything he can get off the meteorite, or other like that. So I will say that Lex, at first, he's a psychic type Pokemon, because like I said, he's really intelligent. He knows how to fool people to make them think he's on their side or just a good person in general. So that's the first typing. And the second typing, it's dark, because like I said, I feel that Lex is so dark in some time. Not so dark, like he's dark because he always have a plan to be on top of the world, be like kill Superman, or just literally be on top of the world, president, control the planet. Like he always plan ahead to make him the best person ever, which he is not. So I will say that Lex Luthor is psychic dark. And now, but not, last but not least, the one that began the DC comic, Batman. Batman, for my opinion, I would say that besides that he could be a fighting type because he fights a lot, Gotham criminal, Injustice or League of Doom, like you could fight all of them physically. Sorry. I said at first that is what he was, a dark type, because I feel that, like Oliver Queen, you cannot break Batman physically, mentally, because you could try to like have something on him to try to make him work for you, but you will always find a way to overcome this and find a way to have you beat. And also because he's also that's for dark, because he strikes fear toward any criminal. They are all afraid of Batman, and he's always in the dark. He always appears out of nowhere, and he strikes fear. That's why I said dark. And psychic is because you can't break him. You cannot break him. He always will find a way to strike, stay alive, to survive. He also has these how does he say it? I'll say contingency plan, but the one where he has a document that says how to defeat every member of the Justice League and himself also. So I would say Batman is psychic also because he thinks so much. He's a master strategist, I feel. He construct plan with think about everything that could happen, every option, everything that could feel that go wrong. He could almost call everything. So that's what I'm going to say. Batman is a dark and psychic type. And for his enemy, I feel that it was the best I could choose for now. I chose Joker. There are many iterations of Joker. Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto, Cesar Romero, Mark Hamill in the animated version. So they're all pretty much going the same in some way. But in my opinion, they're all, or Joker mainly, is poison type. The first type is poison because in some iteration, poison scars him to make him have that smile. He also used a lot of poison in his plan. Like in Jack Nicholson iteration, he has the poison product to make the people have the smile. Or you have just poison in pretty much everything you can get. Put the explosive bomb and everything. And I also gave him the psychic typing because I feel that even if he used poison, he's a master also at the psychic, the mental, because I feel that he can completely fool everybody. Like, he fooled Batman a few times. For example, in the first Batman Arkham game, the Arkham Asylum, that Batman caught him after he made everybody, I think, escape Blackgate. Joker was caught by Batman, but the second Batman is a bit far from Joker, he escaped because his plan was to have Batman trapped in Arkham Asylum most probably to kill him and kill everybody beside the villain used for the moment. In some iteration, he always used Harley Quinn to his advantage, even though he loves her in some. So I would say he's a poison and psychic type. So that was my idea of which typing some DC superhero and villains would be in Pokemon. So if you want, you can go down in the comments and tell me what's your opinion on these heroes, on which type you should think they should be, or if you think that I pitched right, or if I'm wrong on some. Like, I know I'm wrong on some, but if you think, you can give me your opinion down in the comment. So see you next time, Pokemania.